This is video from the car of a drone that is dropping homemade bombs on houses and farms. They make the bombs by packing explosives into metal casings that are often repurposed from devices like fire extinguishers. But this is not a drone in Ukraine or Syria, but from right next to the USA in Mexico. To be precise, it's in the state of Guerrero in a region called La Costa Grande. And the person controlling it is working for the cartel La Familia, hitting towns that it wants to take over. Now we have the car because the drone was captured by local villagers. Sources say that armed civilians shot it down, although others report it had a mechanical failure. Here is a picture of the full drone that they captured and reconstructed. It's a large model that the cartel operatives can buy retail in the United States for north of $10,000 and take to Mexico for this drone warfare. The gangsters will fly the drones high at about 1,000 meters, the villagers tell me, and when the bombs drop they set homes ablaze, blow holes in walls and release piercing hot shrapnel into people's flesh. It's not an isolated incident. Mexican cartels have stepped up their use of weaponized drones, especially in the states of Guerrero and Michoacan. And this adds yet another bloody element to what is often called the Mexican drug war, but which is really a hybrid armed conflict between kinds of criminal warlords. The drones join an arsenal from AK-47s and AR-15s to improvised landmines and rocket-propelled grenades. They are smaller and less lethal than the drones used in Ukraine or Syria, and of course few actual casualties so far, but they sow terror as attacks come unannounced at any time and villagers flee their homes in fear. I went down to the Costa Grande to investigate the drone attacks and work with local TV journalist Servando Mellin. We looked at homes damaged by the bombs, talked to people fleeing them, and we interviewed a captured hitman from La Familia who revealed this could only be the start. In this crash out doc, we're going to look first at the history of weaponized drones in Mexico, second at what is happening on the ground, and third where this drone war could lead. Thanks for watching this crash out doc. If you like this content and want more, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to really find out the full info on the cartel war and other red hot issues and support my work, then please go to www.crashoutmedia.com. The first recorded case of a weaponized drone in Mexico is in 2017. Federal police stopped a stolen car in Guanajuato and nabbed a stash of guns along with the unmanned aerial vehicle. The explosives were stuffed into the body of the drone, and Mexican media described it as a papa bomba, or homemade bomb. It was also a suicide drone that would go right into the target. The following year, a drone with 2 frag grenades flew into the house of the Public Security Secretary of Baja California, but they failed to detonate. Yet the cartels got more sophisticated. In 2021, the Jalisco cartel flew a weaponized drone into police officers in the town of Aguililla. Run by El Mencho, the Jalisco mob has been on the cutting edge of paramilitary techniques. The Small Wars and Insurgencies Journal published an analysis last year entitled Narco Drones, Tracing the Evolution of Cartel Aerial Tactics in Mexico's Low-Intensity Conflicts. The writers observe how drones are easy and cheap to bring into battle and have a psychological impact. Drones have been an increasingly common weapon in the arsenals of Mexican drug cartels due to their affordability, adaptability, and the cartel's propensity to embrace new technologies. Armed drones have emerged as a potent psychological warfare weapon, with cartels employing them to instill fear and intimidation in rival cartels, law enforcement, and the general public. In May 2023, La Familia began a campaign of drone attacks in Guerrero and has unleashed dozens of them since. There are 2 main fronts. The first is against Los Tlacos, a force in the Tierra Caliente area, and the second is against local mafias in the Costa Grande, where we went to investigate. The drone bombs in the Costa Grande have smashed houses and even hit a school and a church. Driving through the area, we see a lot of homes and crops that have been abandoned. We find a 56-year-old farmer, Guillermo Villa, who packed his possessions into a pickup and is moving to a nearby town.
No, pues el problema es pues que estamos con miedo, que nos tiran drones, usaron bombas con drones allá. Se espanten pues, porque a lo mejor no le hagan así directamente a ellos, pero desgraciadamente le cae una bomba al pie. Pues.
I asked Guillermo why the cartel would drive people from their homes, or to use the technical term, to forcibly displace them.
Pues, al parecer es pues porque vienen con ganas de adueñarse aquí de la región, de todo lo que hay aquí, de la ganadería, las maderas forestales, de la playa, el mango, el coco.
His comment underlines how Mexico's cartel war has changed. Cartels in this region used to fight over opium fields like this one we find higher up in the mountains. The cartels would buy gum from the poppies and turn it into heroin to sell to Americans. But with the move from heroin to fentanyl, that business has been shattered, as the traffickers now import precursor chemicals to make the drugs. So cartels now fight over the territory to shake down everything they can, including legitimate businesses. Drones are an effective weapon for displacement. In this village we find the group that managed to get hold of the attack drone and built it. A man describes the bombing.
Ya hace tiempo que nos han estado tirando drones con bombas, granadas, no sé qué serán pues lo que traen para que exploten en las casas. Traen unas de lumbre y otras de que explotan bien fuerte, hasta retumba la tierra. En varias casas ya, en La Mona, Parotal, El Camarón, todas esas partes han estado siendo afectadas por de la violencia.
In another village we find a sicario or gunman from La Familia cartel. Fernando is 22 years old, from an indigenous Masawa community in Mexico State, where La Familia has its main base. He was recruited at 19 and spent the last 2 years fighting in the mountains like he was a soldier in a guerrilla army. Finally, he got cut off from his squadron and was wandering the mountains for a week, starving, before villagers found him. Fernando explains how the cartel has specialist drone pilots.
Son grandes, son drones grandes como por que así. Tienen hartos drones, de hecho tienen drones. De hecho se les cae una mula con drones y si uno se pierde ahí ya se perdía. Es una manera pues de atacar a su enemigo con las bombas pues, de los drones.
¿Tú lo viste los drones? Cuando lo van armando y lo van poniendo. ¿Cómo lo viste y cómo están?
Están grandes, son drones grandes.
¿Sí? ¿De qué tamaño?
Grandes como por aquí así. Así con los alerones así. Y hay unos más grandes yo creo, pero son rápidos. Pueden ir y regresar así todo el día. Porque tienen pilas, hartas pilas. Son materiales fuertes para la salud y se enferma la gente. O sea, el que preparaba bombas se enfermaba. Y como es puro caminar entre las sierras, y ya no podía. Porque uno es en lo que está uno así, ya te dieron un balazo de por allá lejos. O el que tiene mira y son francotiradores, tenían francotiradores.
Fernando says the war by La Familia with its drones and forced displacement could get even worse.
Quieren el control, controlar a las personas. Como esto apenas va empezando.
To try and stop this, many residents are calling for the Mexican army to ramp up its troops in the area. One of them is Cecilio Ortiz, who is a representative for La Mesa's village, where people have been fleeing from.
Ahorita ya nos pusieron una base de militares que dijeron que ya iba a ser permanente. Ojalá y así sea. Está un teniente con 28 elementos, ojalá y así fuera. Si así fuera, ya ayuda a pacificar la región.
However, there are two big problems for the Mexican army fighting cartels. One is corruption, with sections of the military themselves working with the mobsters. Another is that even when the soldiers are honest, it's a huge challenge to confront cartels right across the country. There was a new video of drones that just appeared in Zacatecas. The drones right now are a bit of a curious side feature in Mexico's cartel war. But the big fear is they could get more powerful. We could see bigger drones with more potent explosives or even biochemical weapons. War breeds technology, and tragically, Mexico's cartel war is far from over. You have got to the end of this video, so you are well interested in this crazy world. For more info and to support my work for as little as $5 a month or the price of a pint of beer, please jump over to www.crashoutmedia.com. Seeing you all soon. Stay well, stay happy, and stay safe.